Good evening, students. Welcome in English class. So, today we are going to discuss about the grammar, that is, clauses. So, clauses means a group of words which has its own subject, predicate, and finite verb. It may or may not make a complete sense independently. So, what is the difference between the clause and phrase? So, clause is the sentence or parts of sentence which has a subject, predicate, verb and give a complete sense. But phrases are not give the complete sense. Here, the clause is the group of related words that contains at least one subject and one verb and is used as the sentence or parts of sentence. When a clause has a complete meaning on its own, it can be used as sentence. But when it has incomplete meaning, it is used as a part of sentence. Look at the examples below. He is a news reporter. As a sentence, it has a subject, verb and also giving the sense. So it is a sentence. She loves music as a sentence. Where he stays. It is a not give the complete sense and that's why and no verb it is. That's why it is a part of sentence. Who lives next to my house? It is also a part of sentence. Means it is not mentioned who that person or the information about the subject. So here phrase versus clause. A clause is a group of related words containing subject and verb. It is under a phrase. It is a different form of phrase in that a phrase does not include a subject and a verb relationship. So in the phrase we can see there is no mention about the verb and the subject. Okay. Let's continue with the clauses. There are two types of clauses. Independent clause, that is also known as principal clause, also known as main clause, and second is dependent clause. It is also known as subordinate clause. Independent clause is also called as main clause and principal clause, and dependent clause is also called as subclause or subordinate clause. So actually what functioning clauses in the sentence, it is identify the adjective, adverb and a noun clauses in the sentence. So it is very how to identify the adjective, adverb and noun. So let's continue it. First, there are already I said you before that independent and dependent clause are the two types of clauses. So let's discuss about the independent clause. An independent clause has the subject or verb and can stand alone as a sentence. Means the sentence which gives the complete sense by their own. So it is known as independent clause, also known as principal clause. It has a finite verb and makes a complete sense. It consists of subject, predicate and can stand alone like a sentence. So for example, they work in a marketing department. So just find out the subject is there, verb is there and give a predications, means whole predication of the sentence also mentioned. So they work in a marketing department. What products are they going to launch this year? So the relative pronouns are used here and they doesn't give a complete sense here. So but what products they going to launch this year? So it kind of a question they will ask. The company didn't perform well last year. It is an independent clause. What shall we do? So it is a independent clause begin with a relative pronoun. So independent clause that can stand by itself and still make a sense because it has a subject, verb and predication. It can be its own sentence or be a part of larger one. Means independent clause the sentence by own or maybe a part of another sentence. Like example given here, Jerry want to be a quarterback this week. It is a simple sentence and give a complete sense because Jerry want to be a quarterback this week. And the next sentence, Jerry want to be quarterback this week, but Jimmy think he will be. So the whatever added here, but Jimmy thinks he will, only consider about this. But Jimmy thinks he will doesn't give a complete sense. It cannot stand by their own. They need the first half of the sentence, means Jerry want to be quarterback this week. It is a simple and independent sentence and it is essential to explain about the next half. So, but Jimmy thinks he will be. If we read only that much, we can't get the clear idea, clear sense by this sentence. So, independent clause give a complete information. So, how can we find out or how can we identify the independent clause? There are three things are there in the same sentence and they are complete sentence by itself, which are known as independent clause and doesn't need any other clause for its existence. There is no need to help or take a add to the next sentence to get a whole meaning. So here I have given the one example, you may sit. So as you know that in a clause the subject and verb is essential and the complete sense. So by this you may sit we get the complete sense by itself. So that's why it stand alone. So that's why it is known as independent clause. Independent clause, so it will give a more information how we identify the independent clause. By a comma, little conjunction like and, but, or, nor, for, at and something, so on. So these kind of conjunctions are used by comma or little conjunctions in the sentence. So after the independent clause, maybe the conjunction will be there. By or semicolon itself, they can add it. By a semicolon, accompanied by a conjunctive adverb such as however, moreover, nevertheless, as a result, consequently, etc. And of course, independent clauses are often not connected by the punctuation at all, but are separated by a period. Means independent clause they need to give a complete sense. That's why they are not connected to the punctuations. Okay. So let's continue with the dependent clause. Dependent clause. A dependent clause has a subject and a predicate, but it cannot stand alone as a sentence. The vice versa about the independent clause. Till now we discussed about the independent clause. Three things we need to check. First, subject, verb and complete sense by alone itself. Okay. But dependent clause has a subject and predicate, but they cannot stand alone as a sentence. And dependent clause having their next three clauses. There are three types of clauses of dependent clause: noun clause, adjective clause and adverb clause. So how can we identify the dependent clause? Here also check by three things. First, subject verb combination, no complete thought or complete sense, depend on independent clause. So whereas you can see the example, wherever you like. So we didn't get a sense or any thought by the given sentence. So subject is there, verb also there, they are combination of two, but it need to the independent clause to understand it. So if we added that independent clause in a last previous slide, we see you may sit wherever you like. After we added independent clause, we get a complete sense of that sentence, that is, you may sit wherever you like. But still now, when we are not connected the independent clause and dependent clause, till now we didn't get the meaning or not get the sense wherever you like. Okay, so that in this way we can find out dependent clause, identify the dependent clause. Subordinate clause means that is also known as dependent clause. A clause that cannot stand by itself. It depends on the something else and an independent clause for its meaning. A subordinate clause trying to stand by itself would be sentence fragment. Subordinate clauses are sometimes called dependent clauses. Whenever get the subject verb combination and giving up a complete sense by adding any kind of conjunction, then it will become a dependent clause. So sometime it will be called as dependent clause. So subordinate clause and dependent clause are also same. But whenever we add some conjunction or any other meaningful sentence as a independent clause, then it becomes a complete clause, that is independent clause. After adding any conjunction extra part of sentence, then it will change. So subordinate clause and dependent clause are same. Subordinate clause, for example, while the kangaroo crossed the road, the tourists stay inside the cars. So here we can see while the kangaroo crossed the road. If there is while is not there, the kangaroo crossed the road, the tourists stay inside their cars. So they are not connected. They are connected by only the comma or punctuation. Okay. So it is subordinate clause because that doesn't give a complete sense. The man who is coaching that team is my father. Coaching that team is my father. So the man is the subject and it will give the whole information about the man who is coaching that team is my father. It is a clause. What the team need now is a championship. The subordinate clause are act as a adjective, adverb and noun. How it is? See, again, while the kangaroo crossed the road, and the rest sentence give the extra information about the noun. So it is a noun clause. Means the whole clause while the kangaroo crossed the road is a noun clause. The man who is coaching that team is my father. So who is coaching that team? The blue colored line we have to find out. It is an adjective clause. Why it is adjective clause? Because it will give extra information about the noun. The man is noun and it will give the information about who is the father. The man is and the father is same, but the extra information who is coaching that team. What the team needs now. So we will get the answer, the championship, that is adverb clause. So as we saw, dependent clause are divided into three types: noun clause, adjective clause and adverb clause. Let's discuss about this. So first of all, when the clauses are using with commas, like in a last example, while the kangaroo is crossing the road, they put the comma in between the two sentences. The two types, essential versus non-essential. So in essential, what is essentiality? The necessary no commas in an essential sentence, and non-essential extra information use the commas. So for example, you can see here, every player who hits a home run receives a trophy. So essential and no comma. What is the essential? What is the information about whom? Who hits a home run? It is the essential part, and the whole sentence without any commas but give the complete sense. So there is the essential type. And next is the player who vary in the age. and 8 to 12. He fight 8 to 12 were blue. The players who vary in the age fight 8 to 12 were blue. So the whole information given about that person, that player who vary in the age fight 8 to 12. So it gave the extra information. So but here we are using in a comma the player and the whole information about the player. That's why they're putting the comma. That is a non-essential. It is extra. Actually the player were blue. The players were blue. It is not the whole information. That's why we need a extra information to consider or understand the sentence. So that at that time we are using comma. Okay. So dependent clauses having three types, that is adjective, adverb and noun clause. So let's discuss about the three types. First, how can we find out the adjective clause? So adjective clause is a subordinate clause. Means adjective clause, noun clause, adverb clause are the three types of subordinate clause. Means that is dependent clause. So adjective clause is a dependent clause because they are part of dependent clause. Type of dependent clause. Adjective clause is a subordinate clause that modifies a noun or pronoun. For example, means it gave extra information about noun or pronoun. That is known as adjective clause. The man who is standing over there is a product development manager. So the man is the noun and the who is standing over there is a extra information about the noun. That is known as adjective clause. His team has come up with the products that have more features for customers. His team has come up with products. So the whole sentence gives the extra information about the team. And what is the extra information? That have a more features for customer. That is extra information. That is the adjective. Adjective also gives the extra information about the noun and pronoun. That's why the adjective clauses that have more features for customer is the adjective clause. So adjective clause is also subordinate clause. It modifies noun and pronoun and begins with relative pronoun. Like a previous slide, as we see, the subordinate clause gives the extra information, and that's why adjective clause also give a extra information about the thing. The team is there and it gives the extra information about the team, that is they have a feature of for customer. So adjective clause begins with the pronouns also. Who is standing over there? The man is the subject and give the extra information about the noun and the subject with starting with who. So what is meant by relative pronouns? Who, whoever, whom, whomever, whose, which, what, whatever, that, where, when. These are the relative pronouns which are used in adjective clause. Dependent clause, next type is noun clause. So noun clause is also a subordinate clause used as a noun. Means the whole sentence functioning of noun. What you have proposed is acceptable. So what you have proposed. So it just act as a noun. Is acceptable. So it is a predication. So the what you have proposed is a noun clause. And tell me what your marketing strategies are. So again here what your marketing strategies are, again noun clause, which hold the sentence or a part of sentence act like a noun. At that time the noun clause is there. Noun clause is a subordinate clause that function as a noun. It can be anything noun can do. Means it can do anything as a noun. Like a subject, predicate, nominative, direct object. It can be included. So noun clause The words that introduce noun clause are how, if, that, what, whatever, when, where, whether, which, who, whoever, whom, whomever, whose, why. So a noun clause used because it gives the extra information about the noun. That's why, and the sentence or the part of sentence act like or function like a noun. The biggest question is whether he will first the marathon. So the biggest question is what about there is noun and what the noun wherever he will whether he will first in marathon is the whole sentence whether to marathon the whole sentence act like or they function like a noun. That's why it is a noun clause. Everyone knows that Tim runs. So everyone knows that. So we didn't get the sense. It need to give extra information. And whom that we are getting the information, that is team. And what is the action of that team? That is runs. So that team runs is the noun clause. Everyone knows that team runs at least 1 mile every day. So that team runs at least a mile every day is a noun clause. Okay, now it is cleared about the adjective clause, noun clause. Now we continue with the adverb clause. This is as a type of dependent clause. An adverb clause is a subordinate clause that modifies a verb, an adjective or an adverb. It tells when, where, how, why, to, extent, what extent or under what condition. Means adverb, as we already discussed in a parts of speech also we know about that. Adverb act to with the concern about the verb. It modifies verb. That's why in the sentence when adverb clause is there, so it tells about when, where, what, how, at what extent. It gives the whole information about that action. When the action is gone or the action was happening or where the action happened. So whole information given by this adverb clause. So take an example. If the products are fit for the customer, we will maintain sales increase of 10%. So the adverb is if the products are fit for the customer. So that is the essential part and it gives the information about we will maintain sales increase of 10%. By how? If the products are fit for the customer. So is it clear? When we ask the sentence, we ask the question to the sentence, then we get the answer. That is the adverb clause. And we need to ask when, where, how, why, at what extent, under what condition. There will be some promotion when the new product are available. So when the new product are available, there will be some promotion. So there will be some promotion. That is the essential part. But what about that? When the new product are available. So it is give the extra or modify the sentence. That's why it is known as adverb clause. What are the adverb clause? When the new products are available. Adverb clause. Adverb clause is also a subordinate clause. Just remind yourself, adverb clause is a subordinate clause. It modifies verb, adverb or other adjective by how, when, where, why, what. Okay, and introduced by subordinating conjunctions. How can we find out the conjunctions? So see them. The conjunction is there. When. Okay, when the new products will be, that is by the conjuncting the sentence with the adverb. Adverb clause example again. You can go through the example. So here are the examples. I give the extra information in a bracket. What they are given? Adverb clause example, because it was raining, we came inside. They gave an introduction, then adverb and then clause. So it is a example of adverb clause. Okay. Another example also given here. So go through it. Don't forget about the position of the rules. Whatever I mentioned here. if the clause begins with the sentence adverb or noun, and if a clause follows with noun, usually is about the adjective, and if a clause follows the verb, it is adverb. So hope you all are understood about the clauses. So go through again it. The video is in your pocket now, and understand it. I will give you one worksheet to solve this all clauses, so you will get understand. If any doubt about the clauses, you can free to ask on a WhatsApp group also. Bye. See you again in next lecture.